What's good, YouTube? Welcome back. You know what I'm saying? Reacts on crack, and you know we coming back to back. I know y'all boys been enjoying on double uploads. This is why it's been 10K so dangerous by the dog GMF. Once again, shout out to my dog. As always, it's cool little pre-fire. Subscribe, whether on YouTube or Twitch. You should hit the noti bells. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's your boy sliding on the timeline. You feel me? Make sure y'all boys drink y'all some water. Start getting y'all some sunlight, getting y'all some sleep, and men healthy, man. I got 24 hours to do 3 good deeds. You know what I'm saying? I hope you come out of those ordeals stronger like the dog Hercules. As always, Discord com is linked in the description of this video. Tap in with the Discord com. You'll be notified every time I drop a vid, which is twice daily, 3 times daily, in terms of YouTube, if you consider the clips. So we be consistent with it for sure. Yeah. I mean, ain't much to it, man. Once again, shout out to the dog GMF, man. He really he commented on the react, right? He showed some love, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we about to get into the video. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Why is Omniverse Ben 10K so dangerous? I want to know what makes him a living terror, and also why did he pick fusions as his main Omnitrix gimmick to begin with. But when we're done figuring out,
fusions are so tough. Like, y'all don't understand. I actually cause we watch. Everybody has seen. If you into anime, you've seen Dragon Ball at some point, and the fusion aspect of that is always really cool to see. So it's like fusions with Ben 10 aliens, bro. And then also, because the Omnitrix is meant to make you the peak of the species, but there's like the timeout issue until you get master control. The concept of being able to fuse 2 peaks allows you to reach like a crazy aspect in particular levels. Like, imagine Diamond Head and Chroma Stone. They have very similar abilities in terms of like the super strength to durability, but now it's like they can kind of cover each other's weaknesses. Chroma Stone can fly. Diamond Head can generate the crystals, which can help in combat. And there's energy absorption. So it's like, come on. Being able to fuse 2 peaks lets you, like, for a particular enemy, almost neutralize them completely. Like, oh, you do physical attacks? Okay, I have Goop. Goop might not be the best by itself. Let's get Goop and Echo. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. And then he mixed Alien X with not Clockwork, Atomics. And then that's like Atomic X. And he was able to bypass the ability to, like, you have to make the decision.
All of this out at the end of the video, we should know why Ben 10K Omniverse never catches any bodies. So Omniverse Ben 10K has of course all the major pieces that make an Omnitrix master. Master control, all aliens, and of course he doesn't play when it comes on to throwing hands. However, let's talk about fusion. This is defined by Google as the process of joining 2 or more things in order to form one entity. I believe Omniverse 10K's decision to start fusing aliens came from the first time that we saw fusion in the series, which was in the episode Dr. Animo and the Mutant Ray. He had a glitched out prototype Omnitrix at the time with no faceplate. This watch had no icons and gave Ben access to fusions at random. These fusions were the Sakuras of Ben 10 Fusion. But upon refining them, he created the most broken combat weapon known to man. I believe this watch has, however, left Ben a lot more dependent on alien transformations.
It's been a while since I was in a good old-fashioned fist fight.
But
true, but there's that other version of him from, I think, Alien Force? Yes, Alien Force, because Gwen had the little ponytail. In Omniverse, I believe Gwen has short hair. So yeah, it was Alien Force. Him in that one, or it could have been Ultimate Alien. Him in that one has like the ability to take their powers on as a human.
it makes sense, as he is easily able to overwhelm his opponents with minimal difficulty. But if we are to really be honest, a regular mask his opponents with minimal. But it makes sense, as he is easily able to overwhelm his opponents with minimal difficulty. But if we are to really be honest, a regular Master Control already has combat-abled titans that can overwhelm opponents easily. So what is actually the difference here? Well, luckily for us, I think a very pivotal Dragon Ball fusion holds
was
the
just
key
talking
to
about
what
Dragon Ball.
puts fusions above normal transformations. And we can look to Vegito from the Buu saga to demonstrate what a combined entity can do. For non-Dragon Ball fans, let's give a little breakdown for context. Buu, the bubblegum absorption fighter, had at this point in the
Bubblegum.
series absorbed multiple fighters of varying strength, leaving only Vegeta and Goku in combat. As strong as they were at the time, Buu vastly eclipsed them in strength, and this is where both reached for a last resort, which was fusing themselves into a new entity to take on Buu. After fusing, both gained such a power that it vastly eclipsed that of Buu's, and I believe that sort of application of his technique is what brought Omniverse Ben 10K to the point of respecting fusion. Bear with me here, but to double down on what I believe Ben saw in fusion, I have to give you a short
like,
anecdote.
Low key, if it's not just atomic that can make Alien X like responsive, but it's like his powers are limited. Like that was like one of Atomic's radioactive blasts with like the energy of Alien X. He can do similar things, but with like aliens that are more projectile based, like Swamp Fire in Alien X, or or the dog Echo Echo or Ditto in Alien X. It's like now you have like these crazy joints that like feedback in Alien, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
In order to explain what the true value of fusion really is. As a kid, there'd be this sort of prank where I'm from that would trick most of us growing up, where someone would come up and ask us, what is 1 and 1? Now, the seemingly obvious answer would be 2. However, that's where you're wrong, as 1 and 1 is equal to 11. Since 11 is a 1 and a 1. Fusion operates under a similar principle. It isn't 1 plus 1, which is 2. It is 1 and 1, which is 11. Fusion creates a new entity that is the sum of 2 wholes. Yes. However, the new entity, in this case, of the biome...
I'm not gonna lie. That's an actual, like, top tier anecdote. I'm not gonna lie. That's peak. Because it's like, it's beyond just saying it multiplies their power. It respects the fact that both the ones are similar things, but are different. And that's where we get a new value of 11.
Omnitrix fusions, or Dragon Ball Z fusions, is now the best of both worlds, to such a degree where it becomes exponentially better than the two halves of a whole. We can probably look at the Fusionitrix from the Dr. Animo episode as what 1 plus 1 would be, and Ben 10K's fusions as 1 and 1, vastly better than the original two halves. Hence, that kind of logic is what drove our Ben 10,000 here to use fusions and only fusions. However, beyond Ben 10K being a master of the Omnitrix, a combat genius, and a wielder of fusion aliens that far surpass their base natural state, he is actually a one-man army. But there's a catch. Stick around for that. We have seen him in 3 pivotal fights in the franchise, and 2 out of the 3 of these fights, we can actually see where he is a living army. He dominates Evil Bens with relative ease. I think personally if he had gone Atomic X from the jump, he would have flattened them with minimal difficulty. And he takes on Eon and his goons as well, which he has no problem making quick work of those guys either. He probably doesn't actually need Paradox's help, if I was to be honest. However, in the final fight that we see him in Omniverse, he struggles against King Crimson. I mean Maltruant. He gets time shifted on so often until he's forced to go for Atomic X. And that kind of raises a question for me as to why in each instance didn't he murder these guys. And that got me thinking, realizing that this is the catch towards Ben 10K's power. He is pulling his punches. A classic thing that we see from some of the most powerful superheroes of all time is that they will always pull their punches in order to avoid major casualties. Take for example heavy hitters like Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman.
Trademark. Yeah, Batman low-key could be packed.
Okay, not Batman. However, I believe Ben 10K does the same as he often fights villains without giving it his all, based on what I've seen. Take for example his battle against Maltruant as Atomic X. With Maltruant being the time-walking genius that he is, he ends up cooking Ben with his time-stop power. However, Ben purposefully isn't trying to end him with Atomic X, as he hinders himself from tapping into the Soto-Bro effect, which would enable him to be able to sense the Chrono Sapien as he is shifting through time. With Celestial Sapien DNA combined with Atomix's, I believe that it should be easy as hell to follow him since Celestial Sapiens are beyond time. I mean, alright, let's just look at the wiki. for example, to see what Atomic X can do. Mental reality warping, okay? Unlimited powers. Are you kidding me? Ben is definitely trying to hold back probably every single fight if this is a genuine part of his skill set. Yeah. I believe that he didn't tap into it in order to preserve the events as they were supposed to happen, since Maltruant is in a time loop, but you can obviously see here that he is holding back during the fight. Just like you holding back from liking the video. And ironically, we have kind of seen him be unhinged during a fight. A pretty good example is him definitely not holding back as he quickly cooks Exo Skull with minimal effort, and probably with some of the lower end combat fusions that were possible. Hence, this fight is what not holding back looks like. So it's helped me to reach this conclusion that the real danger of Omniverse Ben 10K doesn't just come from his Omnitrix mastery, his endless versatility of fusions, but also comes from the fact that every single fight he has had, he's most definitely trying to stop himself from killing his target and possibly everyone around. Hence why he doesn't catch as many bodies as he should. Thanks for watching. YouTube thinks you might like this.
Okay, that was tough. That was tough. That was tough. Good little one-liner for the end there too. Video from the dog GMF. Why has been 10K so dangerous? So again, shout out to the dog GMF, man. Appreciate y'all boys for watching, man. As always, Discord comment, link in the description. Make sure y'all boys like. Definitely join that Discord comment if you want to stay tapped into the YouTube without having to do too much with notifications. I know YouTube not always gonna push the content, but on the Discord comment, you'll be notified every single time I post a video. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me though, man. Peace.